Now, SLAs out of the box. We provide a couple of basic ones. When you first start a brand new project, we'll give you the one time to response. But if you want to add new ones, it's simply when do you want to start it, when do you want to pause, stop, set it up, configure it, and you're up and running. SLAs are very easy to adapt. And this is the other thing. You can have different SLAs based on different needs of different teams. Whereas the larger IT system vendors, they tend to standardize on, okay, all requests will have this SLA. What I've found is desktop support might have a slight variation in their service level that they're delivering versus the application infrastructure team. And so that means you can have SLAs to meet the needs of those teams so they can be more proactive in delivering the highest level of service. Now, what does it look like to the end? The support agent? Well, they see time to resolution, and as it gets the clock is ticking down. They're focused on their queue. They know what needs the most immediate attention is this request, this purchasing app upgrade at the top of the list. And as it gets closer, obviously we can notify in the SLAs, and we can do different things in there. But it's going to allow them to be very proactive in the way that they can stay on top of the requests that require most immediate attention. Also, inside the request, we can see where we're at in time to resolution, whatever SLAs have attached when that request is created. We can also solve issues faster with connected teams. As I said earlier, collaboration is another aspect that our customers love about the product, meaning that I can simply go in and do a share. I'm on a request here, and we're getting ready to do this upgrade. It's a change request. I want to bring some other people in so they're aware of it, so I can simply share it out with someone. I can make mentions and simply do an @ Alana, take a look at this request. What do you know about this? Where are we at on this software upgrade, this patch that you're working on? Where does it stand in the backlog? And so these comments, we can have this ongoing conversation right inside of our request. And it becomes a great record of this. And someone, when they're commented in, maybe they're a software engineer, they're able to come over and comment in on this request. They don't have to be a service desk agent. They're able to provide valuable information to this support process while they're overworking in the area that they care most about. So it's bringing these teams together so they're connected and making it very easy for them to share information. The other part of this I want to talk about is HipChat. Some of you probably are using HipChat today. We include an integration out of the box for HipChat, meaning that if you have a major incident, you want, instead of getting on a phone call or a phone bridge, I want to just place the tools in the middle of the conversation. I want to collaborate in real time. We're able to do that with JIRA Service Desk. I can launch a chat room dedicated to that major incident. I can then comment in the people I want, and all of that information as we talk about that incident goes back out of HipChat room is going to go back into that incident. What I really love about this is, especially if you think about operations teams, desktop support, is that you're taking that knowledge out there and putting it in a place that you can lower your mean time to resolution. At Atlassian, one of the things that it caught me by surprise when I first got there were there was no phone number to call IT. And the reason for that is because we do everything via chat ops. I can go ahead and open a ticket via the service desk, the Help Central. They find me online. They come back and ask me a question. What is it that's going on with your Mac? Okay, we'll fix it. We'll be right over to take a look at it. So it's saving significant amount of time because of this. And here's the exciting thing that we just announced at our recent conference. They've brought in a new architecture that's around the Connect architecture. So this is, we're in beta right now. We're getting ready to release this new version of HipChat. And you'll notice on the right-hand side here, we can see, the people that are connected, information about it. And this allows us to bring information that is relevant to that chat. And this happens to be where the marketing team is doing a chat and they're interacting with it. And you can, schedule a message, assign a task. So what this means is developers can now take their integrations, take their tools, and place them, and not only the technology, but the information that's relevant to those teams in the middle of the conversation. This is pretty significant, and what we've done now is we've actually shipped quite a few add-ons in to the HipChat Connect architecture. These are the ones, if you go out to the website, you can learn more about this architecture, and it's fully integrated into JIRA Service Desk. Now, let me give you another example. What does this mean? Well, for example, if I had a New Relic, I can now bring in, when there's a major incident, I've got an alert. It will not only place the alert in the actual chat that's going on for IT operations, but I can click on that alert, and it's going to take a portion of that data, and it's going to place it right there in the sidebar that I can make a decision. You see Tom's looking at this. He's on it. Yeah, we definitely have a problem here. I'll update the status page and raise an incident. So this is an example before they actually go and open up an incident. And inside of HipChat, one of the teams working on, we're going to be able to open incidents and be able to interact directly with JIRA Service Desk. So this is super exciting around chat ops that we have today, the integration with HipChat. We're just going to take it to the next level as this release comes out in the near future. So, automation. Think about the repetitive tasks that your support team go through on a daily basis. They receive an email. There's an SLA due. Okay, great. I got a flag there. It's now red, but I want to act on it. I want to maybe put a comment in the request. I want to notify someone. And maybe in certain scenarios for certain types of requests, maybe it's a server outage on a production system, and I want to act in a different way. We provide the ability that you can choose predefined automation rules, or you can create your own custom automation rules. And the other great thing of this, it does not require any programming or scripting. It's simply come in, set up, okay, keep on top of SLAs. Well, when do you want this to happen? And if it matches this, then I want you to go ahead and alert Bob backline, and I'm going to add a comment to the SLA, and I'm going to notify someone. And so you can set this up very easily. The JIRA admin that's managing the JIRA Service Desk, the ones I've talked to, love this capability because they're taking a lot of the manual process and taking that repetition out of there and streamlining and gaining even greater efficiency. Other things, approvals, the ability to, they're opening up webhooks so we can go out to external systems. This is a super exciting area of your service desk that we're continuing to add on to. So let's say I have a service desk for IT help desk. I currently have one for application systems, and I need a new service desk, maybe for my facilities team that supports the IT team, or another database team. So I can have that tailored environment that fits their support needs with their requests, their SLAs, all of that fitting around their process that they would want to follow. And so we make it very easy to go ahead and create a new service desk project as the container to hold their request. We can either do it as a basic service request, so an access, fault, and these issue types. This is the other thing I love about JIRA Service Desk. I don't have to go off and code, create a bunch of new tables. We just classify what kind of issue types do you want to track inside of this service desk. And we have basic ones for basic IT type support, or maybe things that are around the edges of IT, purchasing, facilities, those type of things. Or we have a service desk that is around IT service management and ITIL for change, incident, problem, and service request. So you can have either one based on the needs of that team. So we have the ITIL workflows that are a good starting point. The other thing that I really like about this is that we give you basic starting point. We don't define your ITIL workflows because every organization is, they're different in the way that they'll implement ITIL. And that's where the RightStar team comes in, and they can work with you and guide you through and get you the right workflows. Take your current process, define those workflows, and get them in here. And the other thing about this, once they put these workflows in place, you create new service desks. You can go ahead and make those a part of those new service desks. So it's define those once and then reuse them. Now, what about IT teams that are supporting other development and software teams? You think about the way that they have incidents, problems, and changes, and they need visibility into what are they working on for bug fixes? What kind of code are they getting ready to release? And I need visibility into that. So what we can do is we can go ahead and bring these teams closer together. In fact, the DevOps report shows that over 60% of IT teams are moving towards adopting or aligning their ITIL processes towards agile methodologies. So what about linking incidents? I have an issue here around a database error that's going on. I obviously, for the collaboration earlier, I can ask one of the developers what's going on. And once I find that issue, I can quickly click into that issue and relate it over to it. And it gives me visibility. I can collaborate and ask the developer, hey, what's going on? Have you seen any of this thing around the database? What are you working on? And we'll see here Caroline, she actually comments back that they have a software fix in this current sprint that they estimate will be released at the close of business. This isn't in another system. This is all in one system. I was just with a customer that they build software they deploy around the globe, 40 customers. One was using Remedy on the front end. They were using JIRA on the back end. They had to manually transcribe information out of Remedy back into JIRA, and they lost a lot of information. There was a lot of disconnect. That team is now moving to where JIRA Service Desk is now their front end and will connect directly into their software teams. So this collaboration is significant in its time saving of what it provides. So with that, that's a highlight of the features. Let me go ahead and switch over to my demo environment. And I'm just going to remind you, if you have any questions, to go ahead and ask those in the chat. We are going to have a Q&A at the end here that we'll have time for. But do we have any questions at this point?
Yeah, just as a point of clarification, if you use the QA area rather than the chat area, then I'll be able to see them and respond. So if you have questions along the way, feel free to ask. We'll either stop them and get them answered immediately, or we'll wait till the end.
All right, thank you. So I'm in an instance of JIRA Service Desk here. I want to walk you through just a couple of features in here that we've seen in the demo or in the slides. And so first of all, the Help Center. You deploy one Help Center, but it has many service desks inside of here. We call them service desks. They're just their projects. And you decide what type of requests do you want to expose to the user to make it easier for them to ask for help. So, for example, like Twitter, they were using email. They were using it all across the organization for different types of support. They have over 100 different teams using variations of Service Desk, both inside of IT as well as outside to HR, finance. And so this type of approach to service management is a great one, both within IT as well as outside of it. So let's take a look here. Let's say I have my Mac. I'm having a Wi-Fi issue with my Mac, and what I see here is that, I was looking for this. Now, you'll notice it actually gave me some knowledge base entries, and it also found an example of what might be the request I'm looking for. Now, I can click into and say, I'm having a problem with the setup to my Mac. And here it is how I can use the Ethernet and get it set up, and I can go through and review, and does this answer my question? And this is an example of the rich type knowledge base entries that you can easily publish inside of your knowledge base from your IT teams. So we make it very easy for you to publish, and I'll talk about that more in a second, but this is what it's searching out of Confluence, is the IT knowledge base that we created for this service desk. Now, I can indicate, yes, this was helpful, and we can measure that through reporting, and we can kind of keep on top of which ones are most relevant. Or I can go back to the results, and I can then go ahead. None of these, I'm going to look inside the actual IT service desk, and I'm having an issue around, as I said, my desktop laptops, and I can go ahead. Okay, I want... Now, you'll notice on the right-hand side, it's going out and looking in Confluence, and it's finding, in the knowledge base, it's finding the most relevant ones, because we still want to put this information out there, because this may solve the request as they provide additional information. So again, it's just a great way of deflecting those requests for help that I can get the answer to much faster. As we said earlier, end users like that. They want to find a fast and efficient, easy way to ask for help. But it keeps dropping. And I would provide, whatever information here. You'll notice about the request here. I'm not asking 20 questions. I'm asking what do I need to start this conversation with? I'm asking for myself, but with the support person and the end user. What do I need to start that conversation? And it's fairly basic in that regard, just making it simple for them to ask for help. I can also whatever it is that I want to give additional information. So I can drop files in there. I simply drag and drop, or I can add comments. That goes right to the support team. Now, if I go over to the IT service desk, what we're going to see is, we'll see right here, well, here's one that came in for the new MacBook setup. I'll just go ahead and go to this one, and then I'll come back to that one. Let's see. Waiting for customer. So what I want to show you here is now I'm going to put my IT support hat on, and I've dropped into my project. I had this one open, but there are other projects here. You can pick the appropriate project based on your access. So if you have your software in, your service desk, we have access to all those projects. It has full-on permissions models. So you can control who has access to what.